Hello. So we have reached the end of the first week of 2022. Can you believe it? 1 week down already. And as I've been sharing in my previous posts and videos, I've been going through since before Christmas a process of reflecting on the year that's been on 2021, taking those lessons and the ones that I would like to take with me into 2022. And the next step in that process is looking at the future facing, what would I like to create and manifest in this new year, in this 2022? So, using those lessons, taking those experiences, and what do I want to create? What do I want more of, even more of? And using that to inspire and guide me as I move into the goal setting process. And goals can be in business, in life, relationships, in all areas of your life. But it starts with the feelings that you want to create. It starts with how you want to feel and be and show up in 2022 because you get to choose that. You get to choose the lens through which you view all experiences in life. So, yesterday, that's the process that I was working on. I was looking at future facing. Okay, so now that I'm moving into 2020, what do I want to create? What comes next? And so I've been doing a little process of exactly what I just spoke about. So writing down how I want to feel and then coming up with a word or theme for you for the year ahead. And I've been doing that for a couple of years ago now. And a friend of mine many years ago introduced me to this, and I have been using it religiously over the last few years. And it's really a helpful way to keep you on track, to keep you inspired. And I love this time of year because it really is this time between Christmas and New Year for me is really exciting. It's a really exciting time to think about all of the possibilities that are available to you and get excited about what comes next. So I thought that I would share with you the work that I did yesterday and what my word or theme is for 2022, because perhaps it might, spark off a process for you to go out and do this for yourself. So first of all, I'll just show you, I've got a page here where I wrote down how I want to feel in 2022. And so I'll just show you or cover up what my word was. So I have just done 6 ways that I want to feel here. So I've got excited, playful, abundant, clear, focused, and loving. So they're the feelings that I decided that I want to have more of, cultivate more of in 2022. And then from there, as I digested those and had a little, think about those, let it kind of all filter down, I moved on to, well, what would the word or theme be? And I started with, do I want one this year? Don't I want one this year? What would it be? And then a word popped in. And I sat with that and thought, oh, that's interesting. It's not something like, where did that come from? And then I went off in a process of thinking, well, what does that mean to me? What does that symbolize? How does that connect? And going a little bit deeper and having some fun with it. So it sent me off in a process yesterday afternoon of doing a bit of Googling and having fun with the symbology of what that means. So can you guess what my word, my theme is for 2022? Would you like to know? It is rainbow. Rainbows. That was the word that came to me, which in of itself doesn't mean much. But when I did some of this process of Googling and looking at the symbology of rainbows, it was really interesting because it's a perfect fit. The more that I did the research, the more that I went looking around and investigating, the more that it felt like the absolute perfect word for me and theme for me for 2022. So here I will share that. So rainbows, the symbol of rainbows are across so many different cultures and mythologies. So in Greece, in Greek mythology, Iris was the goddess of rainbows, and she was messenger of messages to the gods. She also was the link between the sea and the sky, which I just love, because this year for me is more about communication. I'm actually going to be writing a chapter in a book coming up. So communication is going to be big for this year, and being clear in my communication. It's also about continuing to access my own inner knowing, own inner wisdom, and allowing that to come through, which is that messages from a higher power, from the universe, which is part of the work that I do in my spiritual mentorship. And she also is checking, the rainbow was also the gateway between other worlds. And I love that, because it is that pathway, the portal to another world. It's the bridge between the human and the spiritual world. So again, that ties in really well with the spiritual mentorship and the stuff that I love to do with my clients, and helping them to connect into their own inner wisdom, their higher self. So the more that I did this research, the more excited that I got. And if you have a theme for your year this year, I'd love you to put it in the comments below and let me know what it is. So the other thing that rainbows symbolize is hope. And that felt really inspirational too. And it's also new beginnings. And so it's that moving into 2022 with hope and inspiration as a new beginning for my business, for the year, new beginnings in different sectors of my life. I'm in a new house, a new office space. So that felt perfect as well. Interestingly enough, rainbows also mirror the colors of the chakra system, the energetic system in your body and around your body, your aura. And again, that ties in really significantly with the work that I do in my coaching, my spiritual mentorship, and also in my yoga. And when you combine all of those colors of the rainbow, it makes the highest color that there is, which is gold, which is part of the Celtic mythology of the pot of gold being at the end of the rainbow, which again was, the more that I did this, the more excited that I got. Just is amazing. I'm so excited to be able to work with this coming up. It also, the rainbow appears at the end of a storm as well, and it doesn't always appear. And so there's symbolism, mythology about, if you are lucky enough to see a rainbow, it has a significance for you about a new beginning, about a promise of something to come. And that is the magic. And the magic is what feels playful. So tying it back into my feelings, the magic feels playful. And whenever you look up in the sky and see a rainbow, I don't know anyone who doesn't look in awe at the beauty of a rainbow, of the magic of a rainbow. And so that is, every time that I think of a rainbow, I will have that feeling of magic in my body and lifting my energy up. So they're just some of the symbols and mythology around rainbows, which kept getting me more excited as I could see how it aligned with my business name and what I want to feel in 2022. So then I went a step further that I wanted to share with you. So, okay, you've got a word, you've got a theme, you're getting excited about it, you can see all its energies. Then what do you do with it now? What next? Why is it so important? And this is the real piece of information that I want you to share with you. So the importance of this is that the more that I did this Googling and researching and looking what the meaning of rainbow is and how that fits with my business, the more that my energy, my vibration continued to lift up and lift up and lift up. And I then went and sought out, well, what are songs that have rainbows in it? Because I've noticed that when I play music, in particular songs, it really lifts my energy up as well. I can get moving, get the energy moving through my body, singing. And so a really familiar song is Rainbow Connection. I particularly love the Kermit version. And so I found myself listening and watching to YouTube clips of Kermit the Frog singing Rainbow Connection, and continue to feel my energy rising up and rising up. And then I found Over the Rainbow, Judy Garland singing Over the Rainbow and The Wizard of Oz. And that brought back memories of the magic of The Wizard of Oz. And I found my singing to that and all of these other memories coming up. And then I found I Can Sing a Rainbow, which is something that brought back memories as a child, that I can sing a rainbow, and was singing along with that as well and watching those. So the way that I will use this moving forward is that I will take all of the symbolism that resonates to me and the mythology that resonates to me and my life and my business, that excites me, that lifts me up. I will take those songs and I will use them throughout the year as ways of keeping me focused on the feelings that I want to create. So the excited, playful, abundant, clear, focused, and loving. And I will put visual reminders around. So I will start to look at how can I incorporate rainbows into my office space so that every time I see it, I'm full of all of those feelings and my energy is lifted up and inspired for my business. I will play those songs, those rainbow songs I've just connected with, and sing them whenever I feel like I need to pick me up to get myself in the mood again, to re-engage with those feelings. So I'll be using visual cues. I'll be using the sound as well of the rainbows. I'll be looking, and it's raining outside now, I'll be looking for the rainbows. And every time I see one, it will be I'll be looking at it through the lens of it being a promise of new beginnings, of the storms having parted and something new and good coming in. And so I will be using that throughout the year. I will also be using it, and how can I theme that into the offerings that I have for my clients? How can I theme that into my classes with my yoga students so that they can benefit? How can I maybe bring that into my branding for the 12 months as something, things just related to the rainbow, to things that you can learn from the rainbow. And then I also, on my piece of paper, drew a rainbow. So I've got my wording, I've got what the rainbow means to me, I've colored in the colors of the rainbow. So it's all here on one page to refer to. And so I've used coloring in pencils, lots of color. And that also, using and playing with color, is the vibration and energy of those different colors aligned to your chakra system. So that in itself helps to balance out your energetic system. So I thought that I would share this excitement that I have for my theme, my word for 2022. And I would love you to tell me what yours is below. If you've ever used one before, if you're going to choose to use one this year, and what significance or meaning it has for you. And if you've got any questions about that, about how you use a word or theme or interweave it into life, then please get in contact. You can message me or send me an email at info@mybodymysoul.com.au. And I'd love to see how you might be theming your word into your year and using that for your goal setting. So, and if you're watching the replay, just put #replay and put your word or theme in below. I look forward to seeing all of your responses and how you interweave this theme, this word into your year moving ahead. Have a fabulous day. Bye.